Nice. Cache destroyed. Area is still active until remaining grids are cleared. So we got these remaining grids, and here you go. We cleared the grid. And there's the intel. You just get close to it, and it'll say intel recovered, possible cache roughly 334 meters away. So that puts the question mark over here, which means it's probably in this house here. You guys remember in the previous game, Arma 2 and Arma 2 OA, there was a popular scenario mode called Insurgency. In Arma 3, you can find several Insurgency style scenarios on the Arma 3 Steam Workshop. On the Arma 3 Steam Workshop, if you go to the search box and type in Insurgency, you're going to get a multitude of Insurgency scenarios showing up for you. Now, the one I previously played was this mission here, based on Pakistan. Now, this brought me back to the Arma 2 days when I last played it. I was actually pretty inspired, and I played for a bit, and I'm like, you know what? I want to make my own scenario. So I created a new script. So today I'm going to share with you a new script that will enable you to create your own Insurgency scenario in Arma 3. This new script is called Insurgency Grid System. Today I'm going to show you guys how to build your own Insurgency style scenario. So before we do that, we need to install the script. Let's go to the scenario tab at the top and then down to open the scenario folder and install the script. Here we are in the mission folder. I'm going to bring up my new videos folder, and in it is the script, which I'm going to drag to the mission folder. I'm going to link this for download in the description of the video. When you get it, extract the zip to the mission folder here or double click it like that. You're going to see two scripts inside of it. You need both. So take both and just drag it to your mission folder just like that. So you have two scripts, and you have the main script and then you have a configuration script. So this script right here, we're going to open and review it. Insurgency Grid System by Gunter Severlow. This script is an Insurgency style grid system for Arma 3. It enables you to set up and use the map grids as spawn and search areas with enemy units and caches. The Insurgency scenario concept was developed in Arma 2 OA, and its core focus was on search and destroy. With this script, you can replicate the same style scenario on any map and perform search and destroy operations while engaging enemy that will garrison and patrol buildings contained within the grid. The script is highly customizable, vanilla, and any mod assets can be used to spawn enemy AI to garrison and patrol. Now, these two lists below basically just go over the features and what happens. We're going to skip that and go down to how to install files and code. So let's start with number 1. Create a folder in your mission folder and name it scripts. Alright, so we're going to go to the mission folder. We're going to create a folder and name it scripts. Then move the following scripts into the scripts folder you created in your mission folder. So I have to close this because I'm going to get an error. So basically we just take these two, put them into the scripts folder, and then I'll open this up, go back to it. So number 2, create a new Notepad document, then copy and paste the following code, which is this code here, which we'll highlight and copy. Then paste it into an init.sqf or initserver.sqf if on a server, and save it into your root mission folder. We're going to start up a Notepad document. We're going to paste the code, and then we're going to go to File, and we're going to go to Save As. Then we're going to go to Save As Type and set this to all files. From here, what you're going to do is you're going to locate your mission folder. For me, it's going to be on my desktop here under Missions. And then it's going to be under Malden, and then the top mission because I have it date set to modified. In the file name box, you're going to put init.sqf. Once you have that and you see your mission SQM, just hit save, and we can close this. And if you check your mission folder, you should now have an init.sqf and a scripts folder with the two scripts in it. Now that we have the script installed and set up, let's scroll down to how to set up editor. Place the following assets. What this is here is 3 types of markers that you're going to place, and an ammo box of some sort that's going to act as your ammo cache, which you'll search for. Down here are the instructions to place these markers and ammo box, and then give them a variable name, and then define the variable names in the config under certain parameters, which we will do, but we're going to go in game and place these assets. So this area is what we're going to use to set up our Insurgency Style Mission, let's go to the map as we need to place markers. So we're going to go to markers, which will bring you to the map right away. And if you scroll in, you're going to see all the grids. We're going to be working with these grids. Now these grids are 50 by 50. What we need to set up an Insurgency Mission with the script is area markers. So we go to area markers, and then you're going to choose a rectangle. Now these rectangles are 50 by 50. So we're going to place the first rectangle and place it in this grid here. Once you place it, make sure that it's aligned the best you can with inside that grid. Once you have it set, then let's edit it, and we're going to give it a variable name of grid_1, and then we're going to change the color to red. Now these two parts are important. You need to name it, and then you need to set the color to red. It has to be red. The script uses red for a reason. Once you have that, just hit OK, and you should see a red square. Now when you click off the map, it's going to be a faint red, and you're going to see what happens when we get in the mission and grids change. We have one grid set up with a marker, and we're going to click on it so it's highlighted, and we're going to create two more. Press Ctrl C, and we're going to go to this grid next and press Ctrl V, and we're going to do the same thing here. Just make sure it's nice and aligned with the grid on the map. And this one is already named, so nothing for us to do, and it's already the color we want. We're going to copy this one, press Ctrl C, not number 1, but number 2. And we're going to go to this grid now and press Ctrl V. Same thing. You're going to line it up within the grid, and you're set. So now we have grid 1, 2, and 3. And next, we're going to go over here where the buildings are, and we're going to copy number 3. So what you want to do is you always want to copy the last one that you did, because if you don't, then it'll add a number 1 to it. So you want it to go in sequence. That way it's less for you to have to edit. So we go to this grid here and we press Ctrl V and just line up the marker to the map grid itself, and then it's set by the color and the grid name, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to make another grid. We'll just copy this one and paste it here. This would be grid 5. So now we copy grid 5, and we're going to do one more grid, which is going to be way over here, and we're going to paste it. This will be grid 6. So we have 6 grids. Let's save that. And let's go back over here, and the next thing we need is square markers. These are going to be the cache positions. So now we go back to icons, and we're going to choose now as just a square. These are going to be the positions that when the mission starts, that the cache that you're trying to search for is going to be moved to. What we need to do here is place some locations where the cache can be at. So we're going to start here. As soon as we place one, we're going to edit it and give it a variable name. So we're going to change the variable name to cache pos with a capital P and OS and underscore and then 1. Cache pos 1. And we don't need to change the color because we're going to make it transparent when we're all done, because it's not what you're going to see on the map. So we'll hit OK. And now you should have a marker that says cache pos 1. So we'll click on that to make sure it's highlighted, and we'll press Ctrl C, and we're going to put it in another spot here. So we're going to go over here, paste it here, and we're going to go inside. And when you paste these, don't just paste them and leave. Make sure that it's in a position and you kind of see with a line. That means it's going to be above the ground. We need to make sure that we do the same for this guy, which it should already be. So for this one, we're going to just put in the corner here, and it should have the line coming off it. That means it's above the floor. If not, it's going to be in the floor if it gets moved there. Like we did with the grid markers, you click on the last one, you copy it, and then we're going to go over to this grid, and this would be grid 4, and we'll paste it right in the middle of this one. And we'll just put it in the middle. It should be okay right there. Alright, so you should have 3 cache pauses so far. And let's go back to the map. And now we're going to go to grid number 6. I'm going to copy this guy and paste this guy right here. And just put it right about there, and that's fine. Alright, so now you have cache pause 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And let's save that. The next thing we need to do is to set up a clue marker. The clue marker is going to be the unknown question mark. What we can do here is we're going to go to standard drawn and then go to unknown. We're going to place an unknown marker right in the center here. We're going to edit it and we're going to set the color to red and then give it a variable name of clue underscore and just hit OK. Alright, so clue underscore 1. So you're just going to put it to the side. That's all you're going to do. It doesn't have to be in a particular place. If you're going to have 1 cache, then you only need 1 clue marker. If you're going to have 2 caches, then you need a second clue marker. For every cache that you have, you need a clue marker. So if you're going to have a second cache, then you're going to create a second clue marker. We're actually going to do 2 caches. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it. So we're going to have clue 1 and clue 2. And we'll just leave them right there. We'll save that. And the last thing that we need to do is actually put the ammo box down. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go to F1. Then we're going to go to props. And then we're going to type the word ammo. For the ammo, we're going to choose explosives IED. And we're going to place that right here. Then we're going to edit it. And we're going to give it a variable name of cache underscore 1. Hit OK. And we're going to use 2 ammo boxes. So we're going to copy it, highlight it here, and paste the second one. Edit this one, and it should say cache 2. And that's it. That's all you have to do for those. Let's save that, and let's go back to the script. What we're going to do now is go to the configuration script. Let's go back to scripts, and let's open up the Insurgency Grid config. We're going to go over some of the parameters, just the main ones, but there are a lot of them. So I'm just going to go over the main ones. Insurgency Grid config, parameter grid data, list of all grid sectors. Each entry contains a grid marker name, number of units that will spawn and garrison all buildings in a grid, and number of units that will spawn and patrol the radius of the grid. This is your parameter right here. We have grid 1, which is the marker that we placed. We placed 6 grid markers. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And right here, the second number is the number of units that will spawn and garrison all buildings. So grid 1, there's going to be 4 soldiers that are going to spawn and garrison in that grid. This right here, number 2, is 3, is the number of units that will spawn and patrol the radius of the grid. So these guys will basically be 2 soldiers that will spawn, and they will use the center of the grid marker itself to spawn the radius within that grid. So each one of these grids I already have set up. Let's say you wanted to do a 7th grid. So what you do here is I recommend doing this. Copy the existing grid, put a comma here, hit enter, press Control V, and then update the grid number to number 7. And then change this number to whatever number you want. And this could be 1 patrol. And that's all you have to do. So for every new grid, you need to have a comma on this one. So say if I did an 8th one, I would put a comma, I would hit enter, I would press Control V because I already got it copied. And then I would just update the grid number to 8 and then adjust these numbers accordingly. Now keep this in mind, this last little array will not have a comma. The rest of them will. We're only going to stick with 6. So we're going to go like that and then remove the comma there, and that's how you set that up. So this is already set up for you as an example. Let's go to the next parameter. Parameter is cache data. This is everything about the cache and the markers related to them. So each entry contains, so you have your cache object, which is right here. So this is your parameter. This is cache 1. Remember, we named our ammo box cache 1, and we named our second ammo box cache 2. And then we have 2 clue markers, which are unknown marker with the question mark, and we named it clue 1 and then clue 2. For each cache, you need 1 clue marker. Cache 2, clue marker 2. We have locations for these caches to move to. For cache 1, it's going to be set in cache pos 1, which is that first box in the house in grid 2. And then cache pos 2 is going to be in grid 3, which was in that barn. And in cache 2, we gave it the option of either grid 4 or grid 6. If you wanted to add, let's say, a third cache or more caches, then all you need to do here is start like this, copy this whole thing, then just hit enter and press Control V, and then make sure that your cache is named accordingly. Just like this, you have to update the clue, and then your cache position is going to be wherever you put it. So you can update these numbers, and then obviously it's going to be different grids, so change the grid numbers, and that's it. That's all you have to do. We're only going to do these two, so we don't need to worry about that. Use this as your example for the caches. The next parameter is enemy unit class names that will garrison all buildings within a grid. So these are OB4 FIA soldiers. I only listed 4 of them. I'm going to show you real quick how to acquire these class names if you don't know. So let's go in game a minute. To get these class names, we'll just choose OB4 again, and then we'll just collapse this, go to FIA, and then men. And we'll just choose a rifleman and place him right here. So you choose your rifleman, you click on your rifleman, you'll see him in the entities panel here, and just right click him, go to log, and then go to log classes to clipboard. This is what you want to get the class name. And once you click that and the menu disappears, then you've logged a class name. So just delete your soldier, save your mission, and let's go back to the script. Now in the script, all you need to do here, if you wanted to add more class names, whether it's from a mod or the vanilla assets, then you put a comma at the last one, press enter, put a quote, press Control V because that will paste what you copied from the editor, and then put a quote after that, and then nothing else. This gives you a variety of soldiers that will spawn. This isn't the definite guys that will spawn. This will just give you a variety. So we'll just save that. Kills required for intel. How many kills are needed before intel briefcase will be dropped? This I set for 3 for testing purposes. For a large, super large mission, you might want to make this to like 15 or 20 or 25 or something. For demonstration purposes, I set it to 3. So like I said, just increase that number if you have to. Reinforcements activate grid threshold. So 3. Number of active grids required before reinforcements are spawned. When 3 grids light up, then reinforcements will come. Before we begin here, we're going to change the transparency of these markers right here. And the reason being is, if we go to our map, these black markers, as we know, are the locations that the ammo caches that we placed are going to possibly move to. So at the beginning of the mission, these ammo caches are going to be randomly moved to one of these markers, and we don't want to know where these markers are at. Also, your unknown markers, your clue markers, need to be invisible as well because you don't want to see, markers on the map. These will actually be moved when you pick up the intel briefcase that gets dropped according to the kills that you make, and then it will move to rough location of where the cache is for that clue marker. Let's go to the entities panels here, click on one, hold down left shift, and then click on the bottom one, and then right click it, go to attributes, and at the bottom here it says marker style, go to alpha, which is the transparency. You can see the tooltip there, and you're going to set this down to 0%, just like that, and just hit OK. And once you click on the map, you're going to see all those markers disappear. The unknown markers, these markers, and the black squares that we placed. Now you won't see them. Now ideally in your mission, this is what you should be seeing. You should only be seeing these markers. So let's save that and let's start the mission, and I'm going to explain how this all works. Alright, we're now on the mission. Let's go to the map. We put down 6 grids for this test mission. So we have grid 1, grid 2, grid 3, 4, and 5, and then we have a grid 6. So the player is outside the range at which these grids will activate. So I'm over 100 meters out. I have it set to where these grids will become active at 100 meters. Let's turn on our GPS and get closer and see how this works. Alright, got one grid lighting up and a second grid lighting up. So on the map, that means I'm within 100 meters of these grids, and now they have spawned infantry that will garrison and infantry that will patrol for both of these grids. And this grid is not active because I'm not close enough. And same for these. So let's go to spectator and see what actually spawned. So we have 2 infantry that are patrolling, and we have 4 infantry that are garrisoned in this house. None in here, and then we have 1 infantry right here and 3 here. And if you look at your map, what's spawning is based on the grid. So this guy right here is actually in grid 2. This guy that spawned is in grid 2. He's on this side, so he spawned there. And then these guys that are on this side actually spawned for grid 3, which is on this side. And grid 3, we have 1 roaming patrol and 1 guy here. So in total, I had set 4 units to garrison buildings in grid 3, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 to patrol, and that's what I got. This one was 4 to garrison and 2 to patrol, and that's exactly what I got. So once I get closer, then this will probably light up, but I have to be about 100 meters in. Take these guys out and I'll get more into detail about how this works. Alright, so we got 1 guy here. Now I killed 1 guy, and if I kill 3 guys, I have it set in the parameters. If I kill 3 guys, the 3rd guy is going to drop an intel briefcase. It'll be a white briefcase. And when you pick it up, it'll reveal the location of the cache, which is what we're after. We're going to keep an eye out for that. Let's kill this guy. Alright, that's the 2nd guy. And here we go. Here we go. Enemy intel dropped. Search the area for a white briefcase. Now, he's the 3rd guy. We take our binoculars out. You could see a briefcase. Somehow he clipped into the ground, but that is the briefcase that you're going to pick up. And all you have to do is get close to it, like 3 meters away, and you'll automatically pick it up. There's nothing for you to do. Just get close to it. And then once you do that, it will reveal on the map our clue marker at the cache location, roughly in the area of the cache. Alright, let's get closer if we can. We got this guy. I don't know if that did anything, but... Now every guy that you kill after this intel is not going to count towards dropping an intel briefcase, because you have to locate this cache and destroy it first. That might have got him. Alright, let's get closer. Now as I get closer, this guy might become active like this and spawn infantry. Now when that happens, reinforcements will come. I have it set to where when 3 grids are activated, then reinforcements will spawn. Now you can increase that number to where it's 5 grids or 6 or more, or even less if you want. You could have it every grid if you wanted. So what's going to spawn is 4 infantry soldiers and a truck with a heavy machine gun on it. So let's get closer. And that grid is going to be activated. Alright, so now it's activated. We should expect reinforcements. Reinforcements are going to come based on your position, the player's position. And their radius, like the distance where they come from, is going to be 360 degrees around the player. So You don't know where they're going to come from because it's going to be random. The vehicle will spawn at a further distance and the infantry will spawn at a closer distance. You won't exactly see them come in until they get within range. And then they'll patrol around the area where the player is at. So this guy, I can hear him over here. So let's go to spectator again and see where these guys are at. Let's see. Got no one behind us, no one over there. Alright, there's the infantry that are coming in. And here is the vehicle. And these guys that are walking around are part of grid 1 that spawned with the grid. So let's take out this truck because they're going to be a real threat to us. I don't know if that did anything, but might have gotten someone. Waste all my grenades. Alright, let's move. Here is the reinforcements. And there's going to be one more guy. There's usually 4, unless you define otherwise. Alright, we got the reinforcements, we just didn't have the truck yet, and he just moved. So let's see where he's going to be at. Where did he go? I'm going to cheat a little because I don't want to get killed by him, because I want to keep kind of explaining where we're at and what's happening and so forth, so you guys get a better idea of what's going on here. Where did he go? He's over there. Alright. Think I can hit him from here. I think that was short. Got that guy. That was close. Alright, where's this truck? Oh, I think we got him. We did. Yeah. Alright, let's get in closer. We're going to clear. There was no one in this building that I know of, so I think that's it for what's in here. Oh, we picked up the intel. Yeah, you only need to be 3 meters away, so let's check our map. says intel recovered, possible cache roughly 275 meters away. So that is right there. Let's clear out grid 3 first. Gotta get some ammo first. Like, I need it, but I just like to make sure that I'm fully loaded. Alright, we're gonna head this way. We're gonna clear out grid 3. That should kill the guy that's in there. Alright, grid 3 is clear. So on your map, when you clear out a grid, it will turn green like that. Now, if reinforcements are in a grid, or patrol, or anybody's in this grid, and you haven't cleared it yet, then it will not turn green. So whoever's in this grid, until you kill them all, it'll stay red. Alright, so that's grid 3. Let's head to grid 4. That's where the cache is going to be, somewhere in there. Just like the other grids, when you get close, the grids will activate. So I'm 100 meters away from these grids, and now they're activated. That means infantry has spawned. So I'm going to get by the rocks here, big stones. Let's see what I can see. I see a guy right there. Got one guy. I think I got him. Alright, got him. Now the rest of the guys are in this building over here. And we got this guy that patrolling, so let's go into grid 4. Grid 4 is now clear. Nice. Alright, so the cache, if you remember, in the editor, we placed it in this shack. In the mission itself, you wouldn't know that unless you built the mission. So, and here's the cache. So what we'll do here is we'll take one of the IEDs and use the ID itself to destroy it, and then we will clear. Actually just blow it up. I want this to be clear. Nice. Cache destroyed, area still active until remaining grids are cleared. So we got these remaining grids. Now if we kill 3 more soldiers, then we are going to get intel drop. Throw a grenade in this window. Enemy intel dropped. Search the area for a white briefcase. Alright, the grid isn't clear yet, so that means we didn't get all the guys. All the soldiers. So this is a 2-room building. There's a guy right there. Grid 5 is clear. And here you go. We cleared the grid. And there's the intel. You just get close to it and it'll say intel recovered, possible cache roughly 334 meters away. So that puts the question mark over here, which means it's probably in this house here. It could be a lot of fun. It's very configurable. You have the parameters that you can work with. Any questions, put them in the comment section of the video and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I will catch you guys on the next video.